eSports World Championship F3 category. I'm Brett Keenan, joined in commentary by Matthew Elliott. Today we're doing a little bit different play here for the Monaco Grand Prix. Currently, at the moment, I am currently streaming on Twitch for the first time in our heritage. I'm just going to quickly make sure my audio is up to spec. Just check my audio levels, make it turned up so it's a bit better for everyone. And Matt is going to be doing the broadcast from the YouTube channel as per normal. So hello to all our Twitch viewers, or our up and coming Twitch viewers. We'll hopefully get an audience with this as we come along. And of course our dedicated YouTube followers, welcome to the channel again. The Monaco Grand Prix, Matt. So it's not one of my favourite circuits. This is blatantly obvious. It's not my favourite in regards to the fact I don't like street circuits. What's your take on the Monaco Grand Prix?
Hate to drive it, love to watch it.
Fair point. So it's pretty much a spectacle to watch, not so much to drive. It's such a closed canyon circuit, but it's actually one of the shortest tracks on the F1 calendar, which is quite a surprising factor. And as of late, drivers going into like the 1 minute 9s, 1 minute 8s, getting into near sub-minute times around the circuit is scary beyond all belief. I just don't like trying to push for too much speed around here because it's such a dangerous circuit. Now, anyway, we've got 18 drivers for today's Monaco Grand Prix for F3. Probably our biggest grid we've actually ever had for Monaco. So, this time last season, or the last time we raced here, season 2, you were racing in this too. I can't remember. Where did you end up? I can't remember.
I don't even remember.
In any case, a lot of these drivers have experience in the Transnational Formula 1 paddock for the racing. We've got several new guys since then. Of course, Michael Pollan, Polish Sniper F1, our veteran driver of F3, as with Nate Pinkert, Don Venzito, Jonathan Carton making a return after 2 seasons off. Jordan Dittmer, of course, who this time last season created quite a bit of a headache by taking out a select handful of drivers during the safety car formation, then evidently getting disqualified from the race for it. Of course, this is before we knew Jordan personally, so it was a bit of a headache to try and associate what was happening there. So a few drivers have come out on track. I think Jordan was one of them, and we're still being told specifically not to watch him on stream, even though now I've got the that glitch again with no audio sound.
Ooh.
So not a great start for my campaign with the Twitch account, but we'll press on irrespective of the situation. So we're looking here at Philippe Gabriel, who's had a good handful of races since his debut in China, I believe it was. 2 podiums to his name, which has helped on the account of Jordan's podium at Australia. So Ferrari have had a pretty good campaign so far in the F3 category. They haven't quite, on Jordan's account, it has kind of fallen back onto the more faster drivers have come in, and Jordan's just now trying to find a rhythm, whereas teammates come out the blocks quite quickly. I'll just see if I can pause and unpause and maybe have a look at the audio settings and see if that do some things like this. And
looks like Jaden Felter is the first to start a flying lap. Ooh, almost lost it at Casino.
Yeah, so we'll have a look on board as it goes through the hairpin, coming through, heading into Portier. I don't know all the names of the corners on the circuit. Once we hit Austria, that'll be a completely different story.
Well, that's easy because there's only 9-10 turns.
Yeah, well, I've done a lot of hot laps for that track, so I know my way through. Always goes through Nova. I would almost imagine that was probably an invalidation there into Tabac. Very tricky corner, Tabac. It's a fast corner, but you've also got to modulate your acceleration going through there. He's done pretty well through the swim pool into La Razkaz, and then Anthony Cowell.
Ooh.
Always given that bit of a whack. I would say he's probably been put off a little bit by Nicholas Adams. Oh, he actually did see the time. It's a 12.7. So,
oh boy, Eden.
10.6 on the medium tyre. Ooh, that's a statement. We believe, as far as we're aware, that the new guy here, Juan Flo, who's racing today as an invitational, running the number 62, so that's good. He's running a completely different number. He's filling in today for Stefan Numberger, our former F3 champion, who has announced his return to the Transnation eSports after 2 seasons off himself. So we will see Stefan hopefully at the Canadian Grand Prix, which I'm hoping for heaven and hell I will be there for. I am officially moving houses this weekend, so well, this weekend coming, so it'll be an interesting thing to see. So he's done a 1:12.8 on the medium speed position 6. Philippe has gone P4 with a 1 minute 12.3 on the mediums as well. Fabio with a 1 minute 11.5 on the softs. Now, Monaco is one of these circuits, Matt, that basically you don't actually need to worry about what tyre you start on, because technically any tyre from the Oh no, that's right. Matt wasn't. That's right. Mark wasn't even qualifying. He said so. He's probably just got a set up on and called it quits. So as I was saying, it's a track with such low dig that you can actually start on the softs and go to any tyre. So, in your strategy case, because we got another announcement too. The F4 has resumed. And we're hoping to have enough people for a race today. And Matthew Elliott has announced that he's going to be moving to F4 to rekindle his flame for pretty much like what I was doing last season in F3. So Matt, what's the ideal strategy coming into this weekend? Where do you go? Do you go softs to medium, soft to hards?
Soft to medium probably, and doesn't really matter as long as you don't crash. You can start on the hards around here and probably do well as long as you don't crash.
Well, we're not really seeing that just yet on the basis of who's doing what. Everyone seems to be either on the mediums or the soft, so just looking around to see, no one else has done a time of Nicholas Adams done a 16.8 on the mediums. Just looking around to see who's... We've got to slow down, we've got to... Toro also slowing down. That's Daniel Budwell looking to give some space off to some drivers. Looks like Jordan Dittmer's going to come out on circuit. He's going to do that on the mediums. I thought I'd just have a quick look and see what he was doing. Bojan hasn't come out yet. Jacques Parcos is out on the circuit at the moment. He had a pretty disappointing home Grand Prix. Sorry, he's not Spanish. He's Czech or Slovakian. Perry had a disappointing debut race last weekend out at Spain. I think a lot of us actually had a pretty disappointing outing at Spain. I'm not going to lie there. But, yeah. Oh, and was that Jordan that just... Yeah, that was Jordan that ended up squeezed into the barrier there by Jurek, and there's wing damage on Jordan's car as a result of that. So, Joseph Roberts up to P2. P3, sorry. So McLaren, that time's not too far off to get Fabio actually, but I'm sure Fabio's actually done 3 laps on these tyres. I'm not 100% sure that's a smart strategy, because yeah, I understand that tyre degradation is not that flash around here, which means that you can get away with doing more than 1 run, but I wouldn't go as far as to doing 3 runs on a set of softs, because well, degradation, the weather at the moment kind of accommodates it, because it's overcast conditions. Actually, we don't even know what the race conditions are, because I'm not on the YouTube. I don't have access. Well, I could actually have a look.
Gonna be dry.
Okay, so according to sources, it's going to be dry. So
Oh.
you're going to hear me talking, but Matt's perspective might not exactly for all. 5 place grid penalty for Jarak Pakos for collision with Nate Smith. Sorry, actually, sorry, I actually forgot to mention we have another driver today making his F3 debut, and that's Nate Smith. So we've got 2 Nates and 2 Smiths, basically. I don't think there's any relation between Nate and Maddie in that regard. Then again, Smith is a very generic... Oh, Eden's gone faster. 9.8 on the soft tyre, so that's not a bad haul there, actually. So I think a lot of people are starting to understand that it's not necessarily... Oh, forgive me. It's not necessarily ideal to need to start on the mediums, because technically speaking, everyone's going to do the ones... Well, I mean, the theoretical... Oh, what's Nate up to there? That's an interesting racing line to get around La Rascas. I wouldn't go that wide out. He's going to cross the... Oh no, this is only a flying lap, so... yeah, so okay, I'm confused. Oh, Diogo goes P2 with a 11.2 on the mediums.
Ooh.
But in saying that, I'm just wondering about that, because Eden did his first flyer on a medium set, and now he's gone on to a set of softs and punched out at 1:09. Now, as Philip Gabriel goes P2 with a 10.7 on the softs. See, I'd be going on the softs now, because it looks like Eden was just running it, obviously looking to see how the mediums ran on a light tank. So he's obviously looking to do the one stop from the soft to the medium, but you would think that everyone else, as he actually goes off the circuit to allow one of the Red Bulls through, which I think might have been Jaden, which it was actually. It goes without say that everyone would be following suit, but yet Fabio has gone back out on a set of mediums, electing to try and change the strategy. I wouldn't, if I had a huge amount of people in the front of me around this circuit running softs, I would be elected to go to softs, wouldn't you? Because technically speaking, you start in the middle of... Oh, as Jaden actually loses a bit of his wing through the swimming pool section, it's going to get held up by a Williams here. You wouldn't necessarily want to start on a harder tyre when you're trapped in the field, would you?
No. You don't even want to be trapped in the middle of the field, so you need to be qualifying on the softs to try to get further up as you can.
Exactly, and that's the part that's compounding me a little bit. I mean, if Fabio is able to beat his soft time with a medium set, that's, you know, congratulations, hoorah. But I just wouldn't necessarily try to risk it. I mean, yeah, the mediums are going to probably accommodate to a few more extra runs than normal, but I'm not 100% convinced that I would be wanting to do it, given now that the top 3, in fact, even Diogo's now changing his mind about where he wants to be on a tyre set. I wouldn't be wanting to do a medium run, even if I'm convinced that I could beat my time with it. He'll cross the line now, and he does improve, but only by 0.2, so... No, actually, no. That's not an improvement at all, actually.
Oh, he was 3 seconds.
3 seconds off the pace, so... Sorry, I haven't actually had my thing up since the race start. I've been quite distracted by the fact that I can't hear anything at the moment. So the new guy at the moment, Han Flash, is currently P10 on a 12.8, and he's... I don't know if he's done that. Actually, we'll have a look. He's done that lap on the mediums, and he's been on his softs for 2 laps and hasn't actually been able to improve on it. So, he had been given pretty high regard by Redeem Sebasta as on pace with him. He's not quite showing that today at the moment. Nate Smith P11 with a 13.2 on the medium, on the soft tyre. Oh no, sorry, on the mediums. Nicholas Adams on P12 with a 13.4 on the mediums. Bojan Ivanovic P13 with a 14.2 on the softs. Jonathan Carton in P14 with a 15.1 on the softs. Jordan Dittmer in P15 with a 17.7 on the mediums. And Nate Pinkert in P16 with an 18.6 on the softs. And then of course we've got Michael Poland and Mark Bratby, who have both elected, well I think actually Mike might have crashed, but with both Mark and Mike starting at the back, who with Mark not electing to qualify. So Eden's on track again. He looks like he's not convinced that he's going to hold on to pole position at the moment. Ooh, very tank slipperish coming out of the last turn. He crosses the line, no improvement. So, actually, no, that was an outlap actually. So he backed off quite a bit heading into turn one. So I wasn't too sure whether or not he was going on with that or not. Diogo's come back out. Wait, was it Diogo on this? Oh, I don't know. Fabio looks like he's trying to attempt to go back out on 2-lap worn softs. So I don't know what the in-game that one is. We'll watch Diogo here going through the swimming pool. Pole sitter from last weekend didn't exactly translate it to a good result. He's aborting the lap. And that was pretty heartbreaking, wasn't it, Matt, with Diogo? I mean, we see the hilarity that goes on in the Discord chat over the week between him and Fabio. Diogo likes to suggest that Fabio's the bad driver and should be demoted to F2 Trident, but when you look at the pen and paper situation, Fabio's out-qualified him and out-raced him at nearly every event apart from Spain.
It's all good fun.
Yeah, so it's always an interesting statement when you've got one driver saying he's better than the other, but when you look at the stat sheet, it's kind of different. So Jarak Parkos has moved up to P6 with an 11.6. Matty Smith, our ex-championship leader, is currently P7 with an 11.7, and then Joseph Roberts is in P5, so McLaren in the top 5, which is a good result. Alfa Romeo, of course, at the front, roughly. Ooh, Diogo's car having a bit of a spaz out as it came out of pit lane. Both Renaults in the top 15, both Toro Rosso, both Red Bulls in the back end of the top 15, which is a bit unusual for Jaden, especially because Jaden's quite a qualifying, well, I wouldn't call him an expert, but he's always there or thereabouts when it counts, so he'll be wanting to get this lap in and make it count. Both Toro Rossos are in the top 20, obviously. And then you've got a Ferrari in P2 and a Ferrari in P5, P15. So Jordan's just going to be wanting to look at trying to consolidate a result. I mean, like I said, we haven't been to Monaco for 2 seasons. Well, in over 2 seasons, so season 2 was the last time we were here. We're at season 4 now, so there was a season break, so almost a year break, you could say, between here and then. So different drivers, different categories, well, different drivers in different categories. I mean, this time last 2 seasons ago, I was in F2, surviving my way to a podium. So I don't think I'll be replicating it this season. In F1, but you know, anything's a possibility around Monaco. We can safely assume that much. Actually, I can see the results here. You finished 4th at Monaco, as far as I believe. Connor Paisley won and I remember that F3 race too vividly because it was the first time Guy and I had commentated with each other since F3 of season 1, and it was also a very chaotic first lap when I can't remember who it was, but they got caught up at just before to back. Oh, we got a Renault. Which Renault is that? Is that Nicholas or is that? Oh no, it would be. No, it's Jan. So he's retired on the track, which is not... Idealistically, I mean, we've had rules on this sort of retiring on track faction for a while, but I suppose since the whole pit lane glitch thing became an apparent issue as to people retiring in the pit lane, it's been better that we kind of permit the idea. I mean, in a realistic world, if you're having a bad race, you shouldn't technically throw it away by you know, by retiring on the, you know, rage quitting, retiring on the circuit. I know I've been accounted for it for a couple races this season, well, last weekend in particular, but anything goes, I suppose. But okay, so Jaden did make ground on that last lap. He's gone up to P3 with an 11 flat, so that's a bit better for Red Bull in that regard. I mean, they are fighting constructors as well, I believe. I mean, Bojan's had some pretty good results in the last couple of races, so it'd be good for them to keep that momentum forward. Jodak Parkos in P7, Joseph Roberts looking to try and improve his time to get in that, but it doesn't look like this time's going to be quick enough for anything.
I think Jurek's going to be starting at the dead last, or close to it. He's got 2 5-place grid penalties.
Oh, okay, so that will put him 17th, basically. So that'll promote Mike up to 16th, and unfortunately Mark will still say 18th, as opposed to, unless there's someone else, which I don't... Oh, and my sound is back, yay. It only... What race was it that I lost my sound? Actually, wasn't it Azerbaijan?
I think so.
That's ironic.
Street races.
So, yeah, street races. So we only technically have one more of those. Unless you want to count Canada as one.
You could.
So...
Some would also count as Russia as that too. Yeah.
One thing I suppose I forgot to kind of pay mention is that a lot of drivers are still adorning the pink helmet setup from last weekend based on Antoine Hubert's fatal crash in Belgium. From as far as I believe, people were doing it because Monaco was the first F2 race he won, I believe.
Yeah.
So people are still paying some respects for that. We're not going to go as far as doing tributes for it this time around. In further news to that situation, we believe that one Manuel Correa is in an induced coma to help his recovery along after sustaining 2 broken legs and a fractured spine, which generally when you have a fractured, well, anything related to your spine, it's usually a career-ending injury. I mean, some people have gotten away with it, some others haven't, but we'll just wait and see if he can get back on his feet. As far as we're aware, there's only one Arden in the race and one Carlin as well. So, Matt, without further ado, run us through the TKO Media starting grid for our F3 Monaco Grand Prix.
Alright, in P1 we have Krul Eden Haas. P2, Philip Gabriar. P3, Jaden Felter. P4, Diogo Cruz. P5, Fabio Farcioli. P6, Joseph Roberts. P7, Maddie Smith. P8, Jan... I don't remember his last name. Just call him Jan.
Jan Floss.
Yeah, Jan Floss. P9, Nicholas Adams. P10, Nate Smith. P11, Daniel Budwell. P12, Bojan Ivanovic. P13, Jordan Dittmer. P14, Jonathan Carton. P15, Nathan Pinkert. P16, Michael Poland. P17, Jurek, last name?
Jurek Pakos.
Pakos. And P18, Mark Bratby.
So, just clicking onto that, actually, Mercedes have I think in history of anything since the turbo hybrid era, because Mercedes recording their worst qualifying of anything. Of course, this is a game, not actual F1 related. I don't even know what Mercedes' double worst qualifying in the turbo hybrid era would be. Probably 4th and 5th. Probably. It's not bad for a team that's been winning races here and there. I mean, of course, in the real Formula 1 news, Charles Leclerc took pole position in very confusing circumstances at the Italian Grand Prix this weekend, so we'll see what comes out of that. I don't think there'll be too much change, but either way, the cars are all lined up and we're about to have a start here for... This is going to be chaotic, I can tell you that much. These 18 cars about to tussle into turn 1. And
I've turned on the position change thing already.
So we're waiting for it. I'm just going to change the broadcast so we can get a better shot of the start here. I might actually turn all the stats off so we can see this in full depth for Twitch viewers. And it's lights out and away we go for the Monaco Grand Prix. That was a good start by Eden Haas. He's going to take it through into turn 1. It looks like, Jaden's already been spun. He took it,
another one.
I'll do this as well, so I'm going to move it to the thing, broadcast, positions gained. We've already got someone up 6 spots. Jacques Parkos is up 6 spots already. Jaden's down 15 spots. Jordan's down 4 spots. Nicholas Adams is down 4 spots. But it looks like remotely other than that, everyone seems to have gotten through pretty well unscathed. Mark Bradby's gone up 2 spots. We've already got another Sector 2 crash at that. Jaden again. No, it might have been actually because he's a bit further back to the rest of the field. But he's managed to recatch the chain pretty quickly and everything seems to be back to the way it was. Now we'll just move back to the tyre regime so we can have a look and see what's going on. So Eden Haas leads through. He's already got... Well, actually it's not telling me what it is, but it's already quite a sizable gap already over
1.5 seconds.
And then 1.5 seconds, okay, so 1.5 seconds, now it's starting to filter through. So Eden Haas leads from Gabriel, So Haas leads from Gabriel, then it's Cruz, Farcioli, Roberts, Smith, Flosh, Ivoninik, Budwell, and Parkos makes up your top 10. So Parkos has made a pretty good start from the word go. People have gone backwards.
And he clipped the wall. Turn 1.
Nate Smith, we've got Smith, Adams, and Felter in the pits as expected. I thought Jordan would have come in actually too, but I think... Does Jordan actually have damage on his car? No,
I don't see
got
any.
out of that pretty well. Yeah, he must have just had a bad... He must have just got caught off running the 25 this weekend, as he's probably forgot to change it from the regional racing. Looks pretty good on the Ferrari actually, not going to lie.
You say that about every number.
I just love the Ferrari numbering system. But yeah, he's right on the back of Mark Bradby at the moment, trying to hunt him down. Mark's got a... Actually, I like Mark's helmet. It's quite fluorescent. Anyway, we got... Just as I turn it, Michael Poland absolutely looping it around at Novel. He just... Yeah, he just grabbed the rear end, just grabbed the... we got Eden in the pits. The race leader's in the pits already.
There's a wing change?
Although you did mention that he had clipped the wall. We got someone else in the pits.
No wing
too,
change. He's going right on the mediums.
We got Jacques Parkos in for a front wing change. We've got Matty Smith in for a front wing change.
Yeah, Jacques Parkos was the one that had the... As you were mentioning, he made big moves up the field. He clipped the wall at turn 1.
This is tight. Sorry to interrupt you there, Matt. Michael just... Eden just came out just in front of Michael, and that was very close to an incident there. So, yeah, as you said, Jacques was the one who made up the most positions from the start. We've got Nate in the pits as well. I think Nate's in for a front wing change. So, all this has put Philippe Gabriel in the front position, but I think he's got wing damage too, because he's holding the field up quite shockingly through here.
Right end plate.
Yep, he's causing Diogo and Fabio to think, is he going to pit for a new front wing? I would say, I would have said yes, but he's sticking it out, so he's going to cause a bit of pandemonium here. But Diogo's going to...
Is he going around the outside?
This one, Diogo. I'm having my doubts about this one. He's actually... no, yes. No damage, he pulled it off.
Woo. That was
There was a
ballsy.
ghosting period there. I'm sure there was a ghosting period there for just a second. I don't know if that was desync or something else, but Diogo's pulled it off, and now he's going to actually get a benefit from this because Fabio's not as reckless as Diogo. I'm not saying that in any disrespect or anything. Diogo's recklessness can be sometimes quite rewarding for him, but Fabio, we got another incident. It's Dirac. No, but Dirac is in for another wing change, it looks like. See, I wouldn't, if I was continually doing this kind of stuff, I just wouldn't bother about it. I would just do what Philippe is doing at the moment and just hang it out until your actual stop. As long as it's not too damaged to the point where you're going to actually stick it in the fence and end your day, I wouldn't be too inclined to worry about it as much. But it looks like in Jirac's case, he's just going to do it anyway. So newcomer One Floss is currently P5 at the moment. Based on all this, he's just kind of on his own at the moment. He's got 3 seconds to Joseph, but he's got 6 seconds to Bojan, and Bojan again is just showing his strong form of 2019. He's so much more comfortable with the Red Bull than he was in the Racing Point of last year, well, the Force India of last point, I should say.
Are you sure that's 6 seconds to Bojan? I think you might have it on leader interval.
No, it says interval. It's definitely... No, I said... Oh, sorry, I meant 2 seconds.
Okay.
I said that wrong. Okay, so... Oh, Eden's back in.
Ooh.
So another wing change for Eden. So that's going to drop him further down the order. He's going to lose out to Nate Smith, Nicholas Adams, and even maybe... Yep. Jaden Felter, who's just done the fastest lap. So it's quite a bit going on. In fact... This is the scary point. We're only on lap 5, and Dirac, Parkos, and Nate Pinker are about to be put a lap down.
Yeah, Diogo's right. Oh, Diogo
no.
lost end plate.
Yeah, Diogo, I'm sorry, Nate, but that was your fault there. You really needed to get out of the way a lot smoother than what you did. You've compromised that. But... he's got a gap at the moment, Diogo, so he's just going to have to try and nurse it. Because if you think about it, look how much ground that Fabio has lost by... Oh, we've got Sector 1 incident. I don't know... Oh, actually, I just caught... I think that was Mark I just caught hitting the wall at... Oh, Mark!
Oh, just scraping
Get in the pit, you... Get in the pit. Oh, he's been... How do you speed in the pit lane at Monaco? I've never seen that. How do you speed?
I don't have any idea.
Too. Jordan and Mike are in, actually. Oh. Now, I did say Monaco would throw in a curveball, but holy crap, I didn't think it was going to be this extensive. Oh, I just noticed, actually, too, the water in this game is not water. It's just... I don't know. It doesn't look like water when it's in game mode. Like when you see it in the... Oh, we got Sector 3 incident. That's Nate giving up spots to slow down. Sector 2, on the other hand, isn't. Oh, we got a nice choo-choo train here with Nate Smith, Nicholas Adams, and Jaden Felter. It's so hard to keep up at the moment with what's going on. Philip's doing a really good job of...
Nicholas is going to make Novell. Nope. He tried it.
No, he tried it, and Eden's going to take advantage of this too. Oh, Jaden, not at back, not at back, never at back. Not unless you're absolutely 100% committed and the person behind you. Ooh.
Oh.
That's... Oh, yeah, that's
in the tunnel.
Bridge. That's
yeah.
In the tunnel. Well, actually, it's after the tunnel. No,
it's
unless he's
right at the end of it.
So unless his car's rolled out of the tunnel afterwards, but we know he'll now go and join Josh at F2 commentary for that. I don't know if I don't think he would have done it intentionally, but Monaco provides so much in the way of destruction and whatnot. But yeah, as I was saying, so you can see that the kind of the differences in what is... Oh god, I know, I thought that I said 5 seconds, but yeah, Diogo's pushing because yeah, he's got wing damage, but at the same time, Fabio's being absolutely held by Philip at the moment. So So I would have thought though that Joseph would have actually taken the initiative on this, but it looks like at the moment Joseph's just not wanting to cause an accident, as Matty gets 3-second time penalty for exceeding limits. Jonathan Carton's actually done a pretty good job, but he's got wing damage as well, or does he? Yeah, he does, front left, but he's done quite well to hold on to P8 at the moment.
How about Bojan?
Looks like yeah, Bojan's doing an amazing job. He's just staying with it, and of course, because P5 is not effectively in the championship, that's actually going to promote Bojan up to P5 at the end of the race. So that's a good result for Bojan as well. So that could be, I think that's an equal best career finish if he finishes P5. Of course, we've still got just over 30 laps left to go. Jordan Dittmer gets the time penalty for exceeding track limits. And it looks like the rest of the field is, since Nicholas has overtaken Nate Smith, it looks like they've started to break away from each other, because Jaden's now not on the back of Nate. And Eden Haas has actually ended up back in the pits again, so
having a rough go of it.
You're gonna run out of tyres. You're not gonna run out of front wings, but you're gonna run out of tyres. So I would say by now Eden's probably is now recycling his tyres that he's used. Oh no, he's on a fresh set at the moment.
Oh!
What do we got?
Jurek got right in the back of Jordan in the hairpin.
Any damage?
Jurek lost some wing.
Oh, we got a...
Somebody just lost some wing in front of Jordan.
Right. Yeah, I wonder if that might have been some front end wing plate from Mark's car.
No, I think
Jordan's. Drak actually got that move done. Jordan just riding on board. Well, it was an onboard shot of Jordan's car. He was all over the show with that. Oh, and he's actually. No, is that? No, it's something else. Sector 3 though. An actual
Mike
yellow flag.
Lost that Razcast and speeding in pit lane.
And he'll serve as 5 second for the first one, I believe. Jordan's in.
Wing change for Jordan.
Absolutely no end plates on his front wing. And is that Eden again in the pits? No, that's Joseph. So the front runners are now coming in, and this is an actual pit stop. So Joseph, no front wing damage, but he's been... Okay. Right, glad we sorted that one out. So Fabio... Yeah, well, Joseph ghosted into Jordan's car. Oh, God, he's...
Oh.
That's, what, 15 seconds in the space of, like, a minute?
Yeah.
That's just not Mike's day, but he will have another chance should he accept the offer to race in F4 coming up in not too long. Actually, I just realised something too, actually, based on the fact that Monaco is such a longer Grand Prix. I wonder if we'll even have enough time to even sort things out before F1 and F4. We'll find out one way or another. But so, surprisingly, I would have thought that, because this is the undercut theory, and this is going to hurt Philip quite badly if he doesn't actually come in and stop, because what's Fabio got? Fabio's got complete clean air. But in the saying that too, Diogo probably needed to get... I mean, you could take a set of hards right to the end from here on out. I think Diogo should have really come in and get on a new wing, because that's going to hurt his chances, although he is pulling gap on Philip, who's obviously playing out now. Sector 2 and Sector 3, is that an incident, or is that just... It's very hard to keep up with what's going on at the moment, because there's so much debris and carnage going on around. So Diogo's pulling the gap. I'll just have a look at the gap between in the leader interval just to see where Fabio is. So Fabio's 21.4 seconds behind Diogo, but that gap is it's dramatically dropping. It's now 20.9 seconds, so 20.8. He's making a tenth, almost nearly a second. So Diogo needs to either react to this.
He's in.
Yeah, he needed to come in because this is critical if he wants to retain the lead of the race. He's got to remember he's got to do a front wing take,
Jan's in.
so that's gonna. Fabio's coming around the last turn, and as I said, a set of hard. So I think Diogo might actually be listening to the stream. So where's Fabio? Fabio's through. Fabio's got it by a mile, and that's what clean air does. And Daniel Budwell is now out in the lead of the race at the moment, but he's got extensive wing damage to the left-hand side of his car. I'm surprised that he hasn't actually elected to come in yet. He's going to actually help Diogo a little bit. In fact, even Joseph has actually overcut or undercut Diogo as well. So
on my screen, Daniel is missing both end plates and the vanes off the left side.
On my perspective, he's missing just the whole left. He's missing the whole left-hand side of his end plate, and then
the right end plate
on the.
Yeah. That's got to be a handle. Whew.
Oh, and I think he's just given Fabio. Oh no, maybe that was just someone else's end plate there. Sector 2.
And it.
No one. Just another mission.
Daniel's in.
Daniel in. But that's helped Joseph get into range of Fabio here. So this is the battle for your lead at the moment. Joseph's on the hard. So as I said, the tyre degradation isn't really apparent on the circuit, but you never know what's going to play forward here. So for Joseph, this could be a good strategy. I'm actually going to have a quick look and see how this Twitch thing is working out at the moment, because I don't know how to work this thing. As far as I'm aware, we're live racing, I think. I'll just double check. I'll just push this thing. It says we're on air, so
Eden sets the fastest lap.
yeah. Sorry, I'm just...
Oh my goodness! Oh, Jan.
Oh, what did I miss? What I miss?
He was coming out of the tunnel a little too hot and kind of dive bombed at the chicane, but he gave the spot back. That could have been dangerous.
Anyway, so Fabio leading from Joseph Roberts, then Diogo Cruz and Philip Gabriel now. I don't know how this has happened, but during this whole offset, Philippe has managed to actually... Oh, and Diogo's actually just looped it at the Novel chicane.
Must have caught that tire, or the corner.
I think I know why Philip was actually able, because I was just about to say Philip was suddenly right behind Diogo during that offset, and I think I know why. I don't think he actually changed his front wing in that pit stop. So despite everything, Philip could be on course for a podium unless, well, I mean he will, because the new guy is not in the championship itself, so we'll see. But Diogo's now in. This is actually going to promote Bojan up to what will be effectively 4th place.
What a train through the tunnel. Whew.
And Bojan will just have absolutely no idea of what's just transpired. So Jonathan, I think, has just come in and he's on a set of hard tyres. I don't think there's well, I mean, other than Fabio and Joseph. I don't think there's a single driver in this field at the moment that hasn't had a front wing change. Well, actually, technically speaking, Philip hasn't had a wing change, but he should have.
Oh my God! Turn 1.
And that's got Jonathan's whole front wing assembly missing. Was that a move by Jonathan on Nate, or Nate a move on Jonathan? Oh!
I had only caught a little bit of it.
Well, either which way, Giracs ended up right in the back of Jonathan as well, so I don't know why. I think Jonathan should probably get out of the... Well, I mean, it's free racing, but yeah, I think with that wing damage, he probably shouldn't be... Oh, I'll see what comes about of this. Because will Jonathan go full tit through the tunnel? Yes, he will. But he actually came out of it in one piece. Girac. Yeah, I don't know about that. Oh, and Jordan's just spun Girac.
Oh my goodness.
Oh wait, that's not Girac, that's Michael.
Yeah.
Oh dear. And Jordan's put it in the fence, giving up, trying to get out of the way of Fabio. Oh, Jordan. Oh, and he's almost been... His car's rolling backwards onto the circuit.
We have a VSC.
And Bojan's been given a drive-through for speeding under pit VSC. Oh my goodness me, but Jordan, just trying to get out of the way of the lead cars, ended up just a little fraction too off to the side and ended up in the fence. Now Girac's in the pit. See, this would have been a get out of jail free card for Philip. He should have been able to come in and get a free stop out of this, but now Bojan's going to have to serve a drive-through, and he'll probably do that right now just to... Well, actually no, he's got Daniel Woodrow right up his ass. I'd probably let him through, then serve the drive-through. But yeah, so 3 drivers out already: Nate, Jordan, and Mark. So 15 out of the 18 left. I think that's Mike coming out of the pits now. No, that's Girac coming out of the pits in front of Joseph. Eden's done a pretty good job actually to pull back up to P7 despite his woes of the weekend. Nate's done a good job as usual just to hang in there. He's just having a fun time out there. 6-2. I think that might have been...
Oh yeah, and let Daniel by.
Yeah, he lost... Did Daniel just lose wing doing that, or was that Bojan losing wing? It was definitely a Red Bull front end plate of some sort. I think it might have been... Yeah, it was Daniel. Oh, I think Daniel's actually
Both of them are gone.
Yeah, both of them are gone, and we've lost Jonathan. So, where's Jonathan gone off? We'll just wait, because here comes Girac through, so we'll just wait and see, wait and see, wait and see. No, it's still going, so must have been quite early in the piece, maybe turn 1.
Ooh, Eden. Oh, you can't... No!
That was a bit of a ballsy move there by Eden on Bojan. Bojan needs to serve his drive-through very shortly. Oh, fuck, I missed it. Okay, so it must have been...
Eden is very impatient.
It must have been out of the last turn. Not Razkaz, but the one after. Oh, and Mike's just grabbed the fence. He's lost his front wing. And... Oh, I thought he was gone there. I'm just trying to wait and see. As he comes in, it should change him up to P40. Yep, so yeah, Jonathan's lost to that Anthony Gow, so... That's a bit of a situation there. We'll just have a quick look at the F3, because this is going to be quite a... Holy, it's going, it's going, it's going. Looks like Eden is complaining of a pedal issue in his car. Oh, we've got Bojan's gone. Where's Bojan? Lost it. We'll wait for Girac to come through. They're starting to drop off like flies. Turn 1? No.
Casino, maybe?
We've got Daniel and Eden in the pits again. But they've got quite a bit of a gap back to Girac. In fact, they've got almost a whole lap over Girac at the moment. Just waiting to see where... So through Casino into... Oh, this one has so many names, it's hard to keep up. Nope, still going through there. Maybe the tunnel? Into Portier. Through the tunnel.
Yep.
Okay, yep, through the tunnel. So, the gap out the front has extended quite a bit between Fabio and Joseph, but Joseph will just be happy that he's actually been able to survive as long. In fact, he's actually losing ground to Philip at the moment, but I don't see any front wing damage on Joseph's car. So, curious to know what's going on there.
Tires maybe?
Could be that the tyres haven't come up to temp yet. Diogo has managed to stay put in P5 despite the fact he's now 43 seconds off position 4. So technically speaking, Diogo is position 4. Then it will be Matty Smith in 5th, Jaden Velter in 6th. Sorry. Nicholas Adams 8th, Eden Haas 9th, 8th, Daniel Budwell in 9th, and then Girac would make up the top 10 with Nate 11th, and we've got Jaden, I think it's had an issue. Yep, Jaden's gone off at the runoff at Casino, or out of Casino I should say.
No wing.
Yep, so that's going to further compound his day.
Is he going to do like he did at Baku and try to go flat through a turn? And you shouldn't.
I don't know, but he's leading Fabio through. He won't want to, he's going to try and let Daniel through despite that being full position. We'll see if he should. Yeah, no, he's cruising through this time. He knows he's got a points finish in this if he can hang on to it. Because Girac is more than a minute behind, so he won't want to put himself in a position where he can end up losing points over this. So he'll cruise through. He may cause a headache or two. Oh, I don't think Jaden would. I don't think Joseph would have been too overly optimistic that there was a Red Bull off to the side like that, but he would have been thankful that it was off to the side there. Now, we've got a potential battle here because one Flosh has actually caught to the back of Philip here, so we could see an impending battle, and of course these two are still catching Joseph every now and again. I mean, this is the only closest thing we've got to a battle for this whole weekend at the moment. I mean, it's been a pretty hectic. Oh, and Diogo and Mike. Oh, come on,
man!
This game can be so unfair to the people, to some people. But yeah, we've got a potential battle here at the moment. Matty Smith is leading the battle pack at the moment between these three drivers, but of course Matt is a lap down technically. I'd be curious to know actually how far down. Okay, so from position 7 down, it's a lap down. That's not as bad as F1 last season when only the top 3 were on the lead lap. In fact, I think only the top 3 finished the race. Okay, so it looks like Jonathan might have a case to answer for in regards to the Nate incident. I'll recite the words here. I don't understand why you would crash me off the track by continuing to turn into me when there's no room and you have 3/4 of the track, so... Just, Oh, and it looks like I think our commentator for F3, F2 has been disconnected.
Oh no.
I don't know, it's hard to say. I might have a quick look because I can't figure out this Twitch thing to figure out if we're on live or not or what. I mean, the stream will, if it's going, the stream will be going. If not, it won't be. I think we're here, so yeah. As far as I'm aware, it looks like it's back in play. Well, they've actually got a safety car at the moment.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'll see who's in and where. Just wait for the chat thing to go. So Albert's leading from Oliver, Melvin in P3, Brad in P4, no sorry, Ludwig in P4, Brad in P5, Redeem Sylvester in P6, Marco Loez is in P7, Owen Bennett's P8. Oh, we got Guy Tasker joining us in the com box. That's a rare occasion. Unfortunately, he can't watch the race, so he can watch it from the stream if he wants to. Matt Coyer in P9, Lucas Openunga P10, Merrill P11, March P12, Luca Montagueza in P13, 11 laps. No, that's not 11 laps down. The casualties are Ethan Lossing, Robin Kreft, and Amar Singh. So for Robin, that's a championship changing prospect. So looks like the gap between Joseph and Phillips still seems to be increasing, and of course, in fact, it's actually getting to a point now. This is becoming a three-way battle for the podium. Well, three, yeah, because it makes up T2, 3, and 4. Of course, one Flosh isn't in the running for a podium effectively, so he will basically just become a thorn in someone's side. Daniel Budwell's up to P6. He's gotten past Diogo, and I think Diogo has. Oh, and oh shit! Through all that, Mike's crashed.
Man, this is one hell of a race.
I mean, we've started with 18. We're now down to 12. Eden Haas in the pits. Oh, that was a bit of a wall ride there for Eden.
Diogo with the move at Novell. Oh!
Oh, Matty Smith has done the dummy and actually left Eden for dead. So I think Eden was complaining about pedal issues on his car. Let's have a... He's modulating now because he's trying to get through here. Let's have a look. It's full throttle. I mean, this is he's in fuel conservation mode too, actually, I've just noticed with Eden. So, is there any other drivers running on overly lean cars? No. Just Eden. It looks like Flosh had DRS but didn't pull it off, so...
I find DRS to be so useless at this track.
Yeah, I agree. It's a hard enough track to overtake as it is. DRS it's almost like it's just teasing you to want to have a crack up the inside at someone and not think of too much about the consequences. So I would thought personally maybe put the DRS here under the bridge, because it's not a fast enough corner where you would lose traction if you did have DRS open, but I
Ooh, Eden makes the move at turn 1.
Well, he got it done after Matty sold him the dummy on the pit exit, so pretty good racing at the moment between these two. A lot of respect it looks like as well. But yeah, for Eden, this will be the kind of the race that got away after that beautiful pole position. And then for Diogo as well, probably playing the strategy card a little bit off. Should have pit as soon as he lost front wing. For Nicholas Adams, this was going to be a potential P4 finish, which will be a career best for him. Actually, will it be a career best? No, actually it'll be a season best, equal season best, because he did finish P4 in Brazil last season as well, behind me, so it'll be alright for him. For Nate, he'll be P11. Dirac will make up the last of the points unless, of course, something else happens in the next what is it, 12, 13 laps.
Oh, you know something will happen.
Oh yeah, for sure. It looks like Mr. Flosh has got himself a 3-second time penalty, and Eden does fastest lap of the race. Okay, so I know where Flosh has done the dirty deed, but I'm surprised that he would have done it there. Ooh, that was a bit of an interesting telling point there from Flash. So he's right on the back of Philip, and Philip is doing quite a good job to hold him off. But in saying that, actually, he's actually helped bridge the gap out for Joseph to stay consistent. So Joseph's tyres must be starting to heat up and get into temperature. Actually, no, I just saw wing damage on Joseph's car. McLaren has got a kind of a dark front wing, so it's kind of hard to see completely. I'll just wait until he gets a better shot. Oh, maybe not. I can't.
Right side's gone.
Yeah, so he has got wing damage. So I don't know if that's been there for a while. Maybe that's a new telltale sign. But it was quite interesting that for someone that had made about a 5-second gain on undercut, to be suddenly chewed in like that was a bit weird. But usually what happens when drivers both generally have front wing damage, it kind of evens out the pace level, because neither driver wants to throw their car into the fence and end their day. No driver wants to do anything differently. What it does do though is it holds up the drivers such as one Flosh, based on the fact that he's got a front wing but he's got nowhere to overtake. And you're not gonna pit for a front wing change, especially when you're in a position. I mean, technically speaking, Philip has got a whole pit stop, well actually maybe even more than 2 pit stops clear of
Nicholas.
What's his face?
Nicholas Adams.
Nicholas Adams. Diogo is actually scaringly close to being lapped by his own teammate here.
I guess he'll be making the trip to Trident.
Well, actually, I'll tell. It's a bit of a funny story of it. So, I'll making it because I was supposed to make the announcement quite a while ago, but I forgot. You bringing that up actually helped me remember. The Transnation eSports regional series have changed the way the mini series is working, in the way that we're going to be using the F2 cars for the Oceania and the Europe. Europe, of course, will have enough people to split between the F1 and the F2 cars, but generally it's going to be one or the other. America, we're getting there, but we haven't quite got the numbers yet to worry about it that much. Now, funnily enough, Fabio has elected to go to the F2 cars for the regionals, and believe it or not, he's driving for Trident. So
it's too good.
Diogo has that much at least, but at the moment, I wouldn't be surprised if Diogo decides he might come and join him at Trident. In fact, Diogo's got front wing damage as well. I think that might be still from... Oh no, that's a new case. Someone's off at sector 2. That's Jaden. He's gone off at Novel. Now, is Dirac behind him in position to make a move, or is he behind? I don't know. It's hard to say. Oh, we've got Nate off at Razkaz. He's going to pit for a new front wing, running the Senna helmet. Dirac's got a lot of wing damage on this.
Jan's finally made the move through the tunnel. Had a good exit.
Oh, yep, so that's going to help him charge his way up towards Joseph. Of course, now, the thing about it though is that now that you've got clean air, you're kind of more... The way I've always looked at it in regards to Monaco, when you're following someone, unless of course that person makes a mistake, you're not generally going to do any damage to your car, because you're following them, you're following their lines, and if they're staying clean and consistent, you're going to stay clean and consistent. The second though that you get into fresh air,
you start pushing.
You suddenly get this sudden sense of, oh yes, I can now push, and that's where the mistakes happen. So for one, he's going to have to try and take it easy in the way that he stays off the walls, but at the same time, he's going to have to try and... I mean, he's got to try and make 6 seconds as Eden does another fastest lap of the race. In fact, I don't even think that fastest lap was any faster than his fastest lap. Pretty sure it was still in the 13.6s. It's a very gradual gain. Just having a look at the tyres. In fact, Philip has come in, so I think once Philip realised... Hang on. Has that not changed his front wing again? Oh, for God's sake.
Ugh. He's got no end plates.
No end plates at all.
Ugh. That's going to be a pain to drive.
Oh, I mean, he's got time to come back in and actually make sure... Philip, if you can hear me, you need to set it so that you get... when you do front wing changes. Yes, and oh my God, Fabio, for the first time I've ever seen, has been given a 3-second time penalty.
Can't believe it.
Mr. Consistency of F3 has just broken a 5-race consistency bonus of not earning any penalties. Well, I suppose there is... I suppose Monaco does throw a curveball in. So... Perhaps
his teammate was correct. Yeah, he needs to go to Trident.
The Trident trip might be necessary for the Italian F3 Championship leader and defending champion, of course. We got Diogo and Nicholas in combat at the moment. And Diogo has just done the move through to back and got it done, but he got a 3-second penalty, I think, through the swimming pool for that. And I think, oh! That's a hit and a half. I don't know if that was... I wonder if that was a return serve or something. Maybe Nicholas wasn't happy about something and decided he'd give one back on Diogo for it, but it's hard to say. I mean, you don't generally make moves through to back, but he managed to pull it off. Eden still holding down P8 at the moment, so he'll be happy at least knowing that his teammate's going to be, well, I mean, early days. His teammate's looking good for a podium. So at the moment, our effective top 3 is Fabio Lafastio as Eden does another fastest lap of the race. He's just punching them out now just to be funny. Here we go. So Philip in the pits. Is this going to be a full front wing change? Yes, finally. But recycled tyres.
Yuck.
Sector 2 incident. Nothing to see. But in saying that, they're only 19 laps worn, so it's not overly bad. The degradation shouldn't be too bad. I mean, I don't know. I'd have to find out from them what their tyre life was. Nicholas is in danger here of losing P5 from Daniel Budwell. Daniel's on a charge at the moment. Sector 3, Jaden Felter, but there's nothing there to suggest it was him. Sector 1 and 2, nothing. I think the game's just, I think that it's just trying to be funny now. We'll watch this battle here between Nicholas and Nicholas and Daniel Budwell, because this is the closest thing we've got to a battle at the moment. Daniel with his fresh wing. I think Nicholas has actually got no front wing as far as I'm aware. Oh no, he's got a whole end plate chunk taken off, so Nicholas a little wise to the situation, not wanting to let Daniel get up the inside at the back. That's probably actually compromised him a little bit. It actually, I had been talking to one about the fact that he might not be able to race F4 next, or he'd have to race F4. Oh, and that's a whole front wing gone for Nicholas. I said that one might not be able to race in F2 or 3 next weekend based on the numbers, but I've just been notified by Luca Montegezza from F2 that he might be withdrawing at the end of this weekend, so that will open a door for him to race against Redeem in his prime. So anyway, so I'll run you through the effective order by taking out one. So you got Fabio Lafarciol looking to make it 2 on the trot and race wins. Joseph Roberts, who's got actually, just pay attention here, is Jaden Felter's making a move up the inside. This isn't for position, but that's just going to serve to be a pain in Joseph's ass. So that's been done. So Joseph Roberts P2, then it's Philip Gabriel P3, Diogo Cruz P4, Nicholas Adams P5 still, despite everything. Daniel Budwell in P6, who's also got Daniel right up his ass. In fact, now Daniel will move up to P6, P5 based on that, and he'll let... I don't know what Jaden's endgame here is at the moment. He's just serving to be a bit of a pain in the ass to the front runners, as Daniel's now ended up in the fence at turn 1. He's going to let 1 through. So, okay, so I'll try this again while I'm focusing. So Fabio leads from Joseph Roberts, then it's Philip Gabriel, Diogo Cruz, Daniel Budwell, Nicholas Adams in P6, Eden Haas 7th, Matty Smith 8th, Jaden Felter 9th, Jarak Parkos in 10th, and then Nate in P11. And Nate will just be hoping that one more driver can have an accident here within at least 2 more laps, because if someone comes off at lap 38, or 39 I should say, he won't get that position because he will not have been able to get around in time to get the lap off them. So Matty Smith with a 3-second penalty for track extending. He's just behind Fabio there. This is probably about as well. There is a battle starting to brew now. Oh! I just caught that. Han's been... Was that Han trying to make a move on Jaden, or was that Jaden trying to make a move on Han?
Other way around. Jaden was in the way.
So, yeah.
Jaden was a lap car. He was supposed to let him by.
Yeah, I kind of gathered as much, but yeah, he's been a little bit of a naughty boy today, and I'd say that will probably be subject to a couple of investigations. Maybe we'll see, but Eden Haas now with the fastest lap of the race. He's jumped onto the softs to do it. That's an 11.7. What's the time at the moment? I know we've still got plenty of time actually before the next race. So Fabio is looking to make it 2 on the trot this weekend after winning the Spanish Grand Prix. Having to deal for second place behind Eden at Azerbaijan. I think Fabio's only ever had 1 DNF in F3.
Is that right?
He didn't... I don't know. Not this season, not last season. Definitely in season 2. It's been that was a trying period for Fabio, so he's managed to kick himself back up to form quite well in the last couple of seasons to be where he is now. I think Joseph's been one of the highest achievers of F3, having come down from F2 last season after a trying time there. His teammate...
Decent. Never mind.
Well, actually, this is interesting because both drivers are on pretty much the same lapped tyres, but Eden is definitely tracking a lot faster than Nicholas is at the moment, so this will be an interesting way to see. So I think that wing damage on Juan's car has probably helped Joseph in the way, because now John can't use the wing advantage to full effect, so we'll I think the F3 race must be finished. The F2 race must be finished because there's a lot going on in the way of chatter among the F2. Oh no, it's still going. Okay, so while we're on the final lap, I think Joseph just hit the wall just looking at that. So they're on the final lap now too, actually. So Oh no, Brad's just crashed out. That's why that he's coming out. The other casualties as of late is now Murrell and Ludwig, who won Spain last weekend. So it looks like Albert's going to take victory from Redeem Sebasta, and Oliver Coleman's going to take another podium. At the moment, Diogo is letting his teammate through. Oh, this is going to be interesting coming down Noval. We wait for the lock break. Oh, Fabio locks up in anticipation to the situation. Oh, this is going to be hectic. What is Diogo going to do here? Is Diogo going to unsettle his teammate into a crash? One would think. But it looks like it's not going to be the case. I think Fabio is going to hold on to this one. And it's going to be 2 on the trot. But for many people, it's the one you want to win, the Monaco Grand Prix. And today it's going to go to Fabio Lafacio. He will take Monaco's victory for the F3 category. And Diogo will cross the line for P5, or P4 effectively, sorry, I should say. And Joseph Roberts, what a drive from him today. He's going to make the podium, his first podium in F3. And Jan will actually take second off him, but of course because of the effectiveness it will still be second place for Joseph, with Philip going to take up P3. So I'll grab our drivers while I'm here. So no, we can't get into contact with Philip, not Philip, sorry, Fabio, so we'll grab Philip and thing here, so we'll have a chat with them. So Philip hasn't actually finished the race. Oops, that could be a problem. Oh well, he's only got a couple of corners left now, and oh, Eden's crashed on the last lap.
But he'll hold 7.
Yeah, he should hold the position. I think everyone else was a lap down on him as well, so Jordan Dittmer's just joined, but he's not who we're after. Here we go, Joseph Roberts. So Matt, I'll leave this one to you.
Oh man, Joseph, great race today. Didn't have a DNF, which is the main goal here at Monaco. How's it feel to get on the podium?
Yeah, it feels really good. Oh.
And for the record too, it's an effective P2 finish, not P3, because the guy that finished second isn't part of the championship, so...
Oh, okay.
So it's an effective P2, so it's a great result for you. It looked like you had a bit of an altercation there with Jaden Felter. It looked like he was just trying to unlap himself and got in a bit of your way. But just talk us through your race and how you managed to hold it on, because you were one of the very few people in the first stint to not have to change your front wing, which probably helped you in the long run.
Yeah, it did. I nearly got squeezed in the first lap, so it could have been a collision between me and Fabio. But yeah, me and Fabio got stuck behind the Ferrari, and when he came in, I had to come in just so I could cover him off. And if he had time penalties, I would have got ahead of him. And then it got very confusing, the amount of lap cars that got in the way, and how the timings then suddenly from Fabio to the Ferrari. It was just managing the gap and managing lap cars and that sort of stuff. But yeah, I'm very happy with the result.
What's up, guys?
Yeah.
Alright, well, thanks for your time there. Thanks for your time there, Joseph, and we'll see you in the comm box for F4 in a few minutes' time. Philip, so P3 effectively, as opposed to the guy in P2 not actually being in the championship picture. Very hectic start to the race. You had a bit of front wing damage from the start. You held the field up quite a bit for a while based on that, which helped initial race leader Diogo at the time pull a gap before he ended up with an altercation that ended up with his front wing being damaged too. just talk us through your race and everything that kind of went on, and how you feel about your third consecutive third place.
Bro, I have no words.
Well, because we're doing this on Twitch, so tell our Twitch viewers as well as our YouTube viewers what it feels like to be, to survive Monaco for 39 laps with, continuous worry about wing damage, those behind, keeping the gap between you and the leaders and whatnot. Just tell our viewers what it's like to have to do all that for an hour and a half and come out on reasonable good terms.
Oh, it was very hard, man. I don't know. I don't have words for this. I sweat like my wife in the bed. Fuck's sake.
Yeah. I think we've all had that kind of prospect once or twice, but yeah, I mean, it was a good result for you. It definitely keeps you in a championship position for coming into Canada. So, what's your thoughts for Canada?
I'm not really happy with this race.
Well, either way, congratulations on yet another podium. Matt, you got anything you want to say before we close up?
No, just a lot of chaos, as expected. Love it.
And of course, we've got plenty of chaos left to run with the F1 and hopefully our opening race of the F4 category, with Joseph Roberts and Albert going to be taking comms for F4, while Mark Bratby and Robin will resume play in the F1 category. Come and see me crash. So, first and foremost, before we disappear, thank you to the Twitch people who have, well, if you do see this, and hopefully you like and follow our Twitch channel. For those who have yet to like and subscribe to the Transnation Esports channel on YouTube, be sure to do that. F1 and F4 will be starting in about 40 minutes time. Afterwards, we'll be doing our usual breakfast probably thing for 10 F1 plays.
God, I hate you guys.
Until we can shut up. Until we can, I think until Grid basically comes up, and because Grid I know is not a national server, so once Grid comes on, we'll change to that most likely. Till then, Brett Keenan, Matthew Elliott signing out from Monaco, and hopefully I'll be here to see you guys at Canada. Otherwise, Matt will try and find someone to help him out for the Canadian Grand Prix next weekend. So, signing out from Monaco, and we'll see you next time at Montreal. And we're clear on my end.